This is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World in the Off-Grid Project. Got my truck mostly emptied. Just looking over the house this morning. I put a row of flashing tape on. It has rained enough that I don't have to actually wash it now like I thought I would. So that's good. Now this is the stuff from... they got different stuff depending on where you go. This is from Lowe's, and I like this better for sealing cracks and seams like this. It sticks to just about anything, and especially on a hot day like today, you can really seal it in there. It's a gummy, rubbery substance, well, tar-like substance on the bottom, and you can really rub it in and get a very good seal on anything. And the more it gets pressed on and worked on, and the more it gets heated, the more it seals in. So that's perfect. So I'm going to do that on literally every seam on the outside of the house. And that's actually the way you should seal a house, with the house wrap. A lot of people don't do it. They just wrap a house quickly and don't seal off the seams because it takes time. Now over here, this was actually from Home Depot. It's fine, I think, for the windows because it's plastic, so it's probably more durable for wet applications like this, where there's chances of water hitting it. But I don't like it for sealing the seams, so I prefer the aluminum covered stuff for the seams of the house. Well, that's just my preference. I think the aluminum stuff works into the cracks better, but anyway, I still have to seal off around the window. John will be here in a while, and I got to a late start. I worked on the computer a lot. I'm behind like maybe 5 videos, so I've got a lot to catch up on, and I'm gonna get these start sealing some of these walls, because once I get a wall sealed off, I can get all this insulation off the floor and put it in the walls. And once I get that done, then of course I can work on the interior. Now, something John and I did not show you yesterday, I had this idea of cutting my door. There's the sill plate and there's a door missing the sill plate. I had this crazy notion of fitting my door frame to open. See, there's the header of the door. Can you see that? There's the header, and my loft extends below the header. So I had the idea of trimming the door frame so that the door passes under the loft, and still there's plenty of headroom. I'm standing here. I don't know if you can see me. I'm standing here, and I'm on the door sill, and there's plenty of room here. So that's perfect. There's no problem there. That was an extra tall door. I think it was 83 inches, made for giants. So I trimmed the sill plate. John helped me holding the thing down while I cut it, and we fit it in by hand just for feel, and I guess what you'd call a dry fit, and we had the door in there. Well, we trimmed the door. Again, John held it while I trimmed it with my saw. He didn't want to have any risk on cutting. This is vintage, I think. I'd guess as far back as the 60s maybe. It's a solid, really good old door, and I trimmed 2 inches off the door itself, which you'd never know it by looking at it. And we tested it, and it fit perfectly, and it clears the loft framing like I wanted. So that's just perfect. It's going to work out. So when he arrives, the first thing we'll do is mount the door so that I can close off this opening here and have a real doorway and have less water infiltration when it rains. So I'm preparing the tape. I've got 2 rolls of the silver stuff that I obviously have to cut, which you've probably seen how I did it in a previous video earlier on. Actually, that video where I had a lot of trial and error trying to figure out how to best cut this stuff. was actually a long process, but it's cheaper to buy it in the 9-inch wide roll and cut it. And it actually, when you cut it down to the 3 inches, 3 inches, 9 inches, 2.5 inches, whatever. When you cut it down into 4s, you got the perfect width to cover the seams on my house. So there's nothing better. The narrow rolls are actually more expensive when you consider square foot price, and it would be wasteful because I wouldn't have as much tape, because you can't then trim them down like I'm doing here. So I've got to cut all these, and then I got to cut them all in half again to get my strips to seal the walls with outside. This stuff is great. I love it. I use it for all kinds of stuff. My truck camper is pretty much held together with this stuff. That truck camper has been waterproof for 3 years with help. You see, look at this. Fall. This is August. We have had cold nights. Look at this. This is insane. We have had cold nights but hot days. It's in the high 80s right now, but the leaves are dropping way too early. Way too early. It's very weird. And my favorite hickory nut trees did not produce this year. I don't know what's up with that, but with the very odd years we've been having and the off weather, it's affecting the production. I'm wondering if the squirrels are going to be okay this year. I haven't seen any nuts on any trees yet, to be honest. Not even the black walnuts, which are in so much abundance. I haven't seen any. I think since it's been cold, we had cold nights for 3 weeks now, all the way through August. Hot days but cold nights, and I think it's messed up it's definitely messed up my garden, because the garden is dying, and some of it's dying, and the plants are just deciding, okay, it's end of season, and they're shutting down. And then we had that dry spell, which didn't help. So anyway, almost done with this roll, and then I've got to cut each of these again. I won't bore you with that. I'm just going to do it. Hope to get it all done before John arrives, at least cutting these, because when he arrives we're going to start working on the door. We'll get that door installed today. Well, there's 2 rolls, which I can now cut in half again and make 4 rolls. I'm going to shut off the camera. So, my newly trimmed flashing tape, one quarter of a roll that I just cut. It starts here. I sealed in this part. Wraps around. I cut it off at the window. Starts again here on the other side of the window. Runs around the whole entire house. All the way around the back side. That's not bad for one piece of tape. And even wrapped around the front a little. I still got to press it in and work it in really nicely into the wood, but that'll stop any drafts and bugs from infiltrating the inside of the house. And then I'm going to take little pieces and fill all these screw and nail holes. So I'll just get some scissors and cut off any, because this was pre-used wood, any holes, and there's a lot of them. And I'll go and do that another time. But for now, I'll get this all sealed off, except for the front wall over here where there's not going to be any openings or any any joints to seal. I can do, that's right, this here is going to be cut out almost all the way over, so I'll wait on this side as well. Because this is going to be, here's a window, and there's a window. So, probably only about up to here I can seal back and over. I'll go ahead and get all these joints sealed up and get this waterproofed. See, if I do this whole wall now, for example, I can put the insulation on this side and it'll be safe. John is over here cutting. Hi, John.
Oh, hey.
Say hi to everybody in the world.
Everybody, it's a little hot today.
It's very hot today.
Very hot today. This shirt has just about had it.
Yeah, I'm actually taking a break because this is over my limit today. John has done all of this today, and it's only, I think, 3:30 or 4. John has done all of this so far, and I'll show you what I was doing inside. I've been putting in blocking wherever there was a seam that had to be covered. There's a few of them here and there. Putting in blockings where when we put those up, we used whole sheets, and if there was an overlap, I left it and figured I can fix it later, because rather than wasting sheets, because we used every last piece. And there I got a piece of blocking added in, and right there I got a piece, so you can see the seam still. I gotta fill that in later. And then I'm going to have to run along all up in here yet. After John gets that closed in. I've got a block here, I've got a block here. And then what I do is I screw them in inside. And then I come around outside, of course, and then I nail it and screw it, because a lot of the boards are starting to pull out from all the pounding and hammering everywhere. Some of the boards are warped, and so they're pulling out a bit. So I glue them and screw them. Yeah, screw them in, nail them, blah. Screw them and nail them. See, the heat has got me babbling. And then I've taken the tar tape and I'm sealing all the corners so far that I can reach. And I've got this wall almost all done. I can't get to the top until I get his ladder to do these two seams, and this wall will be finished. And I've got the corner trim started over here. And I'm overlapping. What I'm doing is essentially sealing all of the edges of all of the plywood. They will all be absolutely tightly sealed, and that'll further extend the life of this wood, no matter what the conditions outside, and covered or not. So I'm finishing up all that. So we got a pretty good looking wall now. Got all the blocking in. I last put in this piece over here. And I've got a lot of tape to put on yet. It's going to take a lot of tape. But I've got, I only used half a roll so far, and I've got a whole second roll. So I'm going to keep on taping. But I think we're going to take a break here pretty soon, because it's just the heat is so intense. We're going to go and get some cold drinks. Not having a fridge is a problem out here in this heat. Well, this is a big moment for the off-grid project. John, why don't you come out and say hello? How's it going?
Good. We'll get this door in here tonight.
Look at how smooth that works. Swing that shut. Look at that.
We still have to shim it and all that good stuff.
Right. Right now it's just tacked on the top, and we've basically leveled it out and evened it out. Open that door and close it a few times. Look at how smooth that is. Nice. Nice.
That door is going to clean up nice.
I'll put a little stopper up there in that top so that when it swings in and hits the loft.
I'm going to go measure that other door.
Oh yeah, my antique door handle. Wouldn't that be nice if that'll fit?
Because it goes by the back set, they call it.
Uh-huh.
So this back set, if this back set is the same as that door, then it'll work.
Nice. That works smooth. And look at it not swinging. Let go. That means the house is level. Yeah. That's a sign that the house is level.
It stops.
Yeah. All right, this is good. This is exciting. So now we have a window and a door. Because it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so we're trying to close up all the gaps and everything in here today. And that's why we did all this. And we hope to get the lip on that trim piece up here yet today. Which means I'll be on the roof again later. and get this place closed up. So sorry we're not recording much today. I'm going to put the camera away and we're going to just try to get this blocked in. Let me see here. There's things sticking out all over my door. So what we've done is put some cedar shims in each point where we want to screw, and then we used a special countersink tool that John has here. Beautiful little device. Yeah, go ahead and demonstrate your little special tool.
Pretty cool. It's got the drill bit on one end and your driving device on the other.
All right, and then that slips into the...
So first you drill.
And then you lock it, right?
I'm not going to drill.
Right.
And then after you're done drilling, and that'll countersink the head in a little bit.
You back off. I can zoom.
I can show
you keep walking closer to me. I can zoom for close-ups. Yeah, go ahead and show me here.
Yeah,
wasn't locked. I told you to lock your...
That puts a nice little hole in there in the head of the screw.
Little countersink for the screw, right? And then you can rotate or reverse your tool, which we won't waste a screw, but... And then you can screw that in there, right?
Go ahead. We could do it.
Oh.
I'll take the screw out. You see, he's on a budget, folks. I'm not kidding.
Every penny.
I had to go in the garden and get my dinner tonight.
No, don't say that. They'll kill me.
Well, it would have went deeper.
And there we have it.
Something to grip in.
Yep. So, and that's exactly how we have these over here. Flush and sunk in neatly without wrecking the wood. So we got them all now, right? Yep. The door is properly hooked up, and let me see, the door should swing open and closed very gently. Look at that, with no catching, no scratching or scraping. Good. I think the door itself is a little bit warped because the frame is square.
I'm going to fine-tune that frame. I think I can get that out of there.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's a nice door. It's a vintage door. That's some hard wood too, isn't it? The older it gets, the harder it gets.
That's hard.
That's some serious hard wood.
Now you're going to strip this, you said?
I'm going to strip that, yeah. I'm going to use paint stripper and take that off, and then I'll put the green paint that matches my roof on there. Because we remember what happened last time I did not strip the paint off my trailer. It looked horrible. Yep. Looked like a prune. So I'll strip that, but I can do that I can do that whenever now. Now that the door's in, I can do that. It's not a rush. We got to get this house together and waterproof before winter comes. Now I'm finishing the ceiling on this wall as high as I can reach. I can only go as high as this seam. And actually, crazy thing is, in the edge of this piece of plywood, right about here, it was right here, there were two flying, stinging looking insects burrowing in already. 2 of them in one hole. And I had to evict them before I could close this up. So already the bugs are trying to look for homes inside my new house. That's why it's a race against time, it's a race against nature and weather and everything else, trying to get inside my warm, cozy home and beat me to it. But that is going to seal off my house nicely against the elements.